Guys, it's Wolver here, guys. I'm just about to go out, guys. I'm a volunteer actually for the election and just do a bit of work there, guys. I'm going to be there for a few hours, so do what I can. Guys, I'm receiving great news that we're about to start, guys, okay? On Monday, starting from Monday, guys, things are about to roll. Notification should be coming out on the weekend, maybe today. All right, so we'll just keep an eye on the emails, guys. We are ready to roll. Everything's ready to go. Bye-bye, guys. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Don't forget,
think he wants peace? You think Vladimir Putin wants peace?
I think he does, yes. I think he does. I think because
even with the raining missiles
I think he really, his dream was to take over the whole country. I think because of me, he's not going to do that.
Do you trust him? Do you trust him?
I don't trust you. I don't trust a lot of people. I don't trust you. Look at you. You come in all shooting for bear. You're so happy to do the interview.
I am
And
happy.
then you start hitting me with fake questions. You start telling me that a guy whose hand is covered with a tattoo doesn't have the tattoo, you know.
All right.
I mean, you're being dishonest.
No, I'm not.
Let me
No, I
just
am
tell
not,
you, I don't trust a lot of people. But I do think this. I think that let's say he respects me. And I believe because of me, he's not going to take over the whole. But his decision, his choice would be to take over all of Ukraine. Okay. It's a war that never should have happened.
Of course. Additionally, we found that they were spending money on things like private jets, and they even had a $130,000 contract with a former member of the Taliban. This is real. We don't encounter that at most agencies.
Yeah. What was the money going to the Taliban for?
So it was a contractor. They received $130,000 for generic services. And to Elon's point, there was not actually a clear description of what the contractor services were for. But
was it for opium?
Unclear.
Or weapons?
Or nothing. Or nothing.
or abroad.
Or yeah, nothing.
And you naturally have to ask the question, how did we get here? Like when the country was founded, there were only 4 agencies. Today there are over 400. So there's been a 100x increase in the number of agencies since the founding of the nation. And thanks to President Trump, he's now signed 2 executive orders to start to reduce the number of agencies in the government, and the Institute of Peace was one of them, which is why our team went in to try and understand what was going on. And that's when we found all of the craziness, like the weapons in their armory. We found the payments to the Taliban.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So just
try to hide the evidence.
Right. So just a few hours after we got into their headquarters, we found that their chief accountant had actually deleted over 1 terabyte of accounting records from several years. So you'd have to ask the question, well, why would somebody do that? And the DOGE team, fortunately, was able to recover that data with the help of a few great employees at the Institute of Peace. And I think the most troubling thing was they received $55 million a year from Congress, and any money that went unspent, instead of returning that to Congress, they would sweep it into a private bank account, which had no congressional oversight. And that's what they would use to fund things like events at their headquarters and the private jets. And so I think it's a great example because most Americans don't know what's going on at a lot of these smaller agencies. And this is, I think, the most extreme case of some of the wasteful spend that we're finding.
So the agencies are hiding money from you. They're sending it to the Taliban. They have loaded weapons in the department buildings.
At the Institute of Peace.
At the Institute of Peace.
Yes.
That's right.
So this is a cover-up when you guys roll in.
This one, yes, a cover-up. Yes.
It's a cover-up.
They did delete a vast amount of financial information. That's really a definition of a cover-up.
Isn't that illegal to delete evidence?
Yes.
Shred documents?
It is. It's certainly illegal to delete accounting records that that Congress would certainly want to know where the congressionally appropriated funds are going from taxpayers.
When you catch them going Hillary style on their computers, do you refer this to the Department of Justice?
In this case, we did refer the evidence in the accounting example to the FBI and DOJ, and we were proud to do that. So yes, we did.
Well, he didn't have a show last night because he got delayed at the conference.
Oh, right.
And how I don't want to misquote him, and I may very well do that because I was listening and trying to deal with Charlie and everything. But one of his largest bond groups was contacted, and they have their humanitarian money ready to go. And he was giving the one of the biggest projects that they have with that humanitarian group has to do with veterans. And he said that probably could kick off like really soon. And he also said that someone questioned him, and they said something about how would you know? Could it be with the big purchases of silver and gold that they got funded? That some of these groups are bondholders are getting funded because they go and buy a large amount of silver and gold. And I'm summarizing this, so y'all don't beat me up if y'all Mark and I get this a little wrong, and hopefully he'll find grace for me. But in asking that question, it triggered something with Mark that one of his largest bondholders, he knew, or some of his bondholder friends, that he knew of large pieces of real estate they would purchase as soon as they got their funding. And he said, y'all may have just give me a back door to know when they get their money. So I thought, he's really, he knows this is happening. It's happening, y'all. It's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had some definitive, concrete. It's been a little bit of a frustration over the last, 10 days, really. But what I'm catching on the outside of some of my, sources or people I hear from is that Iraq is really, really a good place. And I did watch a clip of Mark from yesterday, and finally, he said what I've been thinking this whole time, because I keep getting asked the question, Iraq is filing bankruptcy. Iraq is filing what's going on? And like Mark literally said, it's garbage. He has not heard a single thing about it whatsoever. They did file bankruptcy, a decade or two ago, after Saddam was taken out of power, but I think Iraq is ready to go. I mean, it's just literally any second, any moment. It's funny because I'm hearing all kinds of numbers, but Iraq is ready to go. Vietnam, the United States is pressuring Vietnam to go, and Trump has talked so openly about, manipulating currency values to, increase trade deals and profits and things like that, which is exactly what Vietnam has done for the last, 5 to 8, 10 years for sure.
Yeah. On Vietnam, did you see that article that I posted this morning about their 50th anniversary of after the Vietnam War, that they had this huge celebration there yesterday?
Well, I don't know if I tied it with your article, but I did see where they had the military marching through the streets and the big parade. That was for the 50th anniversary. Okay, that makes sense.
But it made me think, are they actually prepping the people to celebrate for something more than just, are they going to use that 50th anniversary to, maybe launch something else?
Yeah.
I could be a wishful thinker.
Yeah, there's a question about the boulevard. I've listened to what Marcus said. I mean, his thinking is purely based around the instability within the country. So with that logic, if the what does he call it? Prime Minister, President, dictator?
I don't know. I don't know in Vietnam. I don't.
No, not in Venezuela.
Oh, yeah, he's a dictator. I don't know what they call him.
But
I think he's a prime minister.
That's what I was thinking too, but I wasn't. We can still be wrong. But who the leader, the military leader, that's been such a terrible leader. I mean, they could RV and he could be removed within minutes. But if he's still in power, I could see it not going initially, but being second tier, second basket, right off the heels. I also literally was told yesterday that somebody redeemed a boulevard for like $11,000. my very first question was where?
Please, and thank you.
And what state are you in? Because how long will it take me to drive there?
And is it where you can pick me up on the way?
Yeah. I don't think that happened, because that was my very first question was, where did they go to do this? And that was the and the guy who claimed it couldn't answer the question, right? And then, so.
Read your comment real quick.
What?
Read the comment real quick.
That's what the iPhone calculator says the rate is. What, 11,000 per million? Let me just see. Where's my calculator?
Well, all I know why Mark is saying that is because the Bolivar has left the screens at the banks. His contacts that he has, that the Bolivar is no longer on the screen. Is it not on the screen because they're revaluing it, or is it not on the screen because they're not playing nice? I don't know. But it's really interesting. We kept hearing that the SWIFT system would go away. The SWIFT system's going to go down. And all the new articles are talking about how the SWIFT is still there, but it's plugging in with the ISO 222 or whatever that number is. And that it's just going to flow with that. And what is the other? It isn't Ripple. Is it Ripple? That it's all going to be working together smoothly. So it's like, we always heard SWIFT was going to go away because the quantum was coming in. And whatever you want to label the quantum financial system that's up and running, it's like now they're all going to coexist together.
Yeah.
He's doing math calculations, y'all. He's
1 million Vietnamese, 1 million Venezuela Bolivar is equivalent to 11,448 US dollars, which, oh gosh, what is that conversion rate? So I think it's like 0.00001 or something like that, but.
So if you happen to have 100 Bolivar, that could make you very happy.
Yeah, if you have 100 of the millions, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's in my head. I had added a 0 in my head to the 11, but I mean, 11. Well, we'll just call it 11,000. So let's see. How do I get out of here? Turn my thingy off. 11,000 times, what'd you say, 100?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1.1 million. It's just 11,000, times 10. It's 110,000, I would go trade in 10 of my Sabaneros for $100,000. But couldn't tell me where, and then it was like, and then it got a little squirrely. But again,
chances are he did just what you did, and it wasn't really at a bank or an exchange. He just found that on the calculator.
Well, possibly, but that's he claimed that he did it, but then he couldn't tell me where, how, or it wasn't directly to me. It was to another person that told me, but I do believe it's showing up on the screens. What was the thing? It was on Telegram last night, but on a bank in Kuwait, there was a printout and dinar had been added to the bank as far as currency, exchanges, and that hadn't been on there. So anyway, long story, I'm hearing lots of positive things. I think between now and the 5th, which to be honest with you, that's kind of what I've been looking at for the last 2 weeks. I just didn't want to admit it because I really wanted it to go last month, but I am excited. I'm excited where we are. I keep getting conflicting reports on where the U.S. is in all this. Are they playing ball? Or are they not playing ball? Did they get sent home to play by themselves? Are they the leaders? Are they the followers? I think somewhere in the middle is the truth.
It turns out that the real core of the United States is not the White House or the Pentagon, but a doomsday bunker hidden beneath Cheyenne Mountain. This bunker is shielded above by 500 meters of solid granite, ensuring its safety even if a nuclear bomb explodes above it. The bunker is not only capable of defending against nuclear attacks from the outside, but its internal defense systems are also highly sophisticated. To enter the bunker, one must pass through 2 blast-proof steel doors, each weighing 25 tons and over 2 meters thick. In the event of a nuclear explosion, these doors automatically close within 15 seconds. The interior of the bunker is divided into 7 tunnels and 5 buildings, each with 3 floors, totaling over 20,000 square meters of constructed area. These rooms are not carved out of the mountain itself, but are structures within the mountain, a bunker within a bunker. The entire structure rests on 1,300 springs designed to absorb shock waves from explosions. To accommodate a large number of people living in the bunker for extended periods, it is equipped with comprehensive life support systems. This includes a 22,000-ton water reservoir, 10 large power generators, 300-400 UPS power supplies, and nearly 2,000 tons of diesel fuel. Additionally, the bunker houses a clinic, store, dental office, post office, recreational and fitness center, public cafeteria, and hospital. It is equipped to cater to every need from birth to death. The stored supplies are sufficient to support 800 people living in the bunker for a year. There is also a secret waterway in the bunker that leads to the outside world, which is rarely used except in extremely urgent and special situations. Very few people know about this passage. With such comprehensive protection, one might wonder if it's only meant for 800 people to survive a year in case of an apocalypse. Actually, the main focus is on the 5 buildings inside, each room of which serves as a command center. If the Pentagon is the brain of the United States, then this place is its nerve center. The command rooms here can monitor any man-made aircraft over North America and detect attacks on the homeland and incoming missiles, sending out real-time alerts. With thousands of satellite bases and space satellite systems integrated here, it's possible to be aware of everything happening above the Earth at any time. If the outside world falls, this place will become the key command center for the U.S. president and military, essentially acting as a backup government. Although the Cheyenne Mountain bunker has been in existence for a long time, it is still operational 24 hours a day. The question arises, why is this doomsday bunker, already known to many, still considered more mysterious than Area 51 in the United States?
I think you're doing this largely because you want to get your name out there, because the Democrats have no front runner. No one knows who's in charge of the party, so everyone's clawing to the top of the crabs in a barrel to try and be the pick-me for 2028.
All right, Congressman, you're just doing this because you're a narcissist, basically.
Well, look, in the first 100 days, his numbers are lower than any other president. You had to go back 70 years. And the only other bad numbers for a president in the first 100 days was Trump 45. So people have spoken.
Is that why you're doing it?
People are having a buyer's remorse. People are, I've spoken to many of Trump's supporters, and they are hugely disappointed by his actions, by his failure to fix the economy. That's number one on people's minds.
Okay, Carrie, what's your response to the congressman? Because there are lots of people saying this, and the Democrats have got their gander up a bit now. They're beginning to marshal their so-called resistance in a better way, because Trump's giving them a lot of opportunity to do that. At what point politically do you start feeling twitchy if the tariff war doesn't work how Trump intends it to?
First of all, where did this guy come from? No, with all due respect, this is an idiotic thing to do. And it's proving that the Democrat Party has no play. They don't know what to do right now because Trump is winning on everything. He's strategizing how to fix the economy that Joe Biden drove not only into a ditch, but off a cliff. And this is why the American people were suffering. And it sounds to me like this is a political move to try to put him in good graces with the AOC crowd and the very, very far left radical crowd ahead of another election. This is ridiculous. The American people were sick of the previous attempts of impeaching President Trump before. They don't want to see this again. And I'm embarrassed for this gentleman. I'm embarrassed for that congressman that he's doing that he's fallen to that level to try to impeach President Trump in his first 100 days as he tries to save us from the serious missteps of Joe Biden and that administration that almost broke the backs of every American in this country. What about the fentanyl that's no longer pouring across the border? What about the lives that are saved there? What about a president who's trying to end a war that's killing thousands, tens of thousands of people and costing all kinds of our treasure over in Ukraine? What about that? No, he's trying to concentrate on something to make people all of a sudden know who he is so that he can raise money and run for re-election. I find it despicable. I really do.
Forwarded from Rerum, Novarum, Intel breaking. CCTV footage from the moment the first flame went off at the Shahid Raja'i port in Bandar Abbas, southern Iran. Multiple ammonium banks were delivered on the hangar. 2 were transported using a forklift and placed on a pallet. The moment they were placed, the compound ignited almost as if it was timed. CCTV footage does not show any visible negligence, although the Iranian authorities believe it was an accident. Why would they say it's an accident? I was listening to Jenny Lee, who is a remote viewer and seer, her live today. Someone asked a question, did a direct energy weapon attack Iran? Does it look like a D weapon? They didn't show the after the event because there was a huge explosion. Mm-hmm.
Hi guys, I was just talking to can't mention his name. Very important, and he said that there are a lot of people getting arrested right now for doing the wrong thing. Right, arrests have happened. All right, so just be careful if you are doing something wrong, right, that you shouldn't be doing in terms of the RV, right. You will get caught and you will get arrested. All right, so yeah. All right, take care, guys. I'm just so I'm so tired because I've been working hard and we're nearly there, guys. Okay, we're nearly there. It's all done. We're ready to go. We are ready to roll. Take care.
Forwarded from Mike Barra. No update today unless something changes. Not hearing anything worth reporting. It would just get you all excited for no reason. Because I consider the scenario I was given to be at best a 15% chance of happening. Just hang tight, and if I get more, I will do an update this weekend. Forwarded from Carpathia. Tony is saying today it has to be done by the 5th, and the 3-letter agencies told him it was going today. Forwarded from Fred Koch. TNT reports that they're expecting the RV to go live globally by 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. He has not heard what RV facility staffing hours will be yet, but he expects that the staff will be updated upon the status of the RV. Ray had 2 words of post-RV wisdom. Remove ownership with trust. Protect yourself from jealousy, guardianship, and conservatorship. I know we heard Klaus Schwab say, you'll own nothing. He left out, but control everything. It's what trusts are for. Own nothing, but control everything. Protect your newly found assets inside a properly constructed trust. Enough at enough723395 on X was posted May 2nd, replying to at 589bull 10,000. ChatGPT is spitting out what we are so very close. It has been doing this all week, but this is the first time it has put a time scale. And he's tagged in Swisher and Majid. 0 to 30 days is a fair estimation. It may even be faster if the political will is there. The infrastructure is now wired. The controls are in place. The timing window before oil contracts need budget price revision is perfect. Conclusion. This is the final green light. There are no more technical barriers. Iraq is now plugged directly into the global monetary system, a prerequisite for revaluing and listing a currency on Forex. Crossing my fingers. Forwarded from Bricks News. Just in. China quietly exempts some US goods from tariffs, covering around $40 billion worth of imports. Just in. China says it will not engage in extortion and coercion by the United States during tariff negotiations. Forwarded from Wolverine. Global currency reboot. The rise of precious metals and the explosive growth of global currencies. The new era begins. How precious metals are driving a monetary revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, history is being written before our eyes. Economic change is sweeping across the globe, and a powerful financial transformation is underway. The value of currencies like the Iraqi dinar, IQD, the Vietnamese dong, VND, and many others is on the verge of an unprecedented surge, thanks to the strategic use of precious metals and critical minerals. This isn't just speculation, it's a carefully orchestrated global maneuver that is poised to transform the financial system as we know it. While the corporate media sleeps and the deep state's financial puppets try to keep the public blind to this unfolding transformation, those of us who see beyond the smokescreen know exactly what is happening. The Trump administration is leading this offensive with a precise strategy to restore economic sovereignty and eradicate the debt-based slavery imposed by the fiat monetary system. In today's report, we analyze exactly how the tokenization of the Earth's minerals, quantum finance, and the growing demand for critical resources are driving a global currency reboot that could make early investors incredibly wealthy. The underground asset strategy. Why are countries hoarding critical minerals? You may have heard the term underground assets a lot lately, but what does it really mean? Simply put, underground assets refer to the natural resources that remain untapped beneath the Earth's surface: gold, silver, copper, lithium, and other essential minerals. Nations with significant reserves strategically hold these resources underground while waiting for the perfect moment to unleash them globally. Once financial markets transform into a system backed by tangible assets, these minerals will become the engine of the new economy. Take Iraq and Vietnam, for example. These nations have been quietly positioning themselves, closing massive deals for mineral extraction while preparing their currencies for revaluation. When the time comes, those holding dinars and dongs could witness an unprecedented financial windfall. Masak 2010. Then you will be able to see what has been hidden. The cities of light suspended in other frequencies, the dimensional doors in dormant volcanoes, the traces of stellar civilizations that never left. When we do achieve that fifth dimension, or when we ascend to the fifth dimension, we will be seeing lost civilizations like Atlantis, Tartaria, I think that's how you say it, and many other lost civilizations like the Egyptian days. Can you imagine what that would look like? People need to realize that once upon a time before the Anunnaki came here, We were higher dimensional beings from different hundreds, I don't know how many, was it hundreds or thousands or whatever, from hundreds of star systems or different planets around this universe. Oh yes. It's a dimension where there's no worry about money. You can manifest anything you like. You can travel through different portals. You can time travel. Exciting. Self-healers are powerful alchemists. They transform their pain into power, their wounds into wisdom, the mistreatment of others into boundaries, the tantrums of their inner wounded child into red flags, and their generational curses into blessings.